Silver Star then in the MRF Tyres BTRDA Rally Series would see a host of regular faces along with some new names, all hoping to challenge for that title this season. And leading the way among them over the morning stages would be Shane McGeer and Denver Rafferty, the Irish pairing swapping times as the day went on, eventually returning to service with an 8-second lead. That lead and the man that they would be swapping times with would be over Andy Davison, Tom Murphy alongside. They'd led the event on stage 2, but the times would start to open out slightly as they get through the morning stages in that familiar sunbeam.
How's it going?
Yeah, all right, yeah. The pace is hot as we expected. A little bit rusty this morning, which I like to try and catch people sleeping, but I don't think we managed this morning. But to be coming sort of, I think, second in BTRDA at the moment, I'm quite happy with that. It's a good battle. There's still the afternoon stages to go.
Still indeed. We'll look forward to them. See you later.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
There's early frustration though for Elliot Payne. We lose him along with current 1400 champion Michael Gilby, who's alongside. They'd been in third place before their rally came to a premature end in stage 3. And we'd also lose a bitterly disappointed Ben Friend and Cliffy Simmons. They'd been up in 4th when they lose 2nd and 3rd gear, calling it a day before doing any more damage to that gearbox. So with challenger after challenger falling foul of the stages here on the Cambrian, it will be up to Perry Gardner and Andrew Sankey to round out our podium positions at this stage. They end the morning 3rd, leading the way in the R2 Cup. David Gathercole and Martin Don would be trying hard, perhaps a little too hard in some places. They do get through the stages in one piece though, leading the H2 class and in 4th place on our overall Silver Star leaderboard. Ewan Tyndall and Andrew Ruffhead, meanwhile, joined the championship this season in the R2 Cup, getting hotly contested this category now. It will be a good start as well, the pair ending the morning with 5th. But it wasn't a rally without its problems so far. A puncture in the opening stage and a clutch issue causing them to work hard for that position.
100, left 6 and left 5, right 4. And right 4 continues over crest and tight right 4, don't cut, 60.
Well, that's one way of making sure that you know the wheels are bolted on when you leave service.
Yeah, tricky morning for us. Yeah. Everything that could go wrong is going wrong. We had a puncture in stage 1, dropped a lot of time there, and then we've had a clutch, keeps slipping. There's an oil leak in the engine base and keeps slipping into the clutch. So, yeah, tough morning, but we'll try and make it around this afternoon.
All hands on deck now to get you back out.
Yeah, it is. Times are tight here on the Cambrian. So yeah, we'll just try and get it back out and see what we can do this afternoon.
Good luck. It's all character building, so they tell me.
Thank you.
Rob Wilson and Martin Haggett make the step up to the BTRDA after a successful junior championship season. Their first time on gravel and showing that route to the top was well and truly alive in British rallying. Things going well so far on the debut. 3rd in the R2 class for now 6th place overall. Wilson and Haggett hadn't been in that position all morning though. It had previously been occupied by Damien Pratt and Johnny Evans. Sadly for them, their rally coming to an end, but not before showing that they were trying hard on a number of occasions through those morning stage miles. For Steve Ward and Mike Crawford, it will be 7th. A new car for this season, and the feeling was good. They'd seen many of the crews off in stage 3, opting for a cautious approach as a result for the rest of these stages. There would, meanwhile, be no such problems to report for Jonathan Jones and Lewis Griffiths. They were enjoying the stages, putting in some strong times to end the morning in 8th place. Dramatically, things were not going quite so well for our last year Fiesta ST Trophy champion Zach Hughes, Will Atkins alongside, out in a new car this season, a Twingo R2. Things were slowly starting to gain traction for the pair as the morning went on, but disaster would strike on the 3rd stage of the day, which had caught so many crews out before them. It would see the pair hitting an exposed rock, breaking the suspension, literally passengers on their way to sending them off the road and into the trees. Mike Wolf and Mark Twiname wouldn't be happy with their seeding or the subsequent conditions on the stages when they went through, picking up a puncture in the first of the day's stages as a result. They end the morning 9th place on the leaderboard, 2nd in B12. And rounding out the top 10 leaderboard at this stage would be Jonathan Jones and Jez Rogers. Reverse seeding meant that they had the dubious task of running first on the road, but thankfully they get through without any issues. Let's take a look then at some of the positions just outside the top 10, and it would be 11th overall for Fraser Anderson and Sinclair Young, the pair lying 5th in the R2 Cup as well. And for Alex Hawkins and Abby Haycock, it would be the lead in the N3 class. Our only Fiesta ST Trophy crew still running at this stage. Such had been the attrition of the Cambrian Rally for the Silver Star entries so far. There's more attrition to come as well when we lose Johnny Sproat and Sean Cunniff. They retire in the second stage of the day. The cause pretty obvious, I would have thought. Losing the wheel on this corner, and despite their best efforts, they'd be going no further. So the morning stages are complete here at the Cambrian. The leaderboard at the top of the Silver Star category is starting to shape up. Let's take a look. Onto the afternoon stages then here in North Wales, and of course there'd be no change for Alex Hawkins and Abby Haycock. They round out the results in 12th overall, taking the N3 class victory. It was a class win to chalk up at the first round as well for Jonathan Jones and Jez Rogers. They finished just outside the top 10 in 11th place in that Fiesta. And so we're on to that top 10 leaderboard. And it would be a position gain for Fraser Anderson and Sinclair Young as things shake up a little. They remain 5th in the R2 class, but move up to take 10th place overall. Sadly for Mike Wolf and Mark Twiname, they'd have to stop to change yet another puncture through the afternoon stages. And with no more spares, they decided to take it pretty easy over the remaining stages, and most of us, I think you'll find, would do the same. They do take the B12 class win as well as 9th on the overall leaderboard. For Steve Ward and Mike Crawford though, it would be the H3 class win this weekend on the Cambrian. A good weekend for the pair and a solid debut in that new car. Despite the problems that we'd seen so far in the day, it would end up being a good weekend after all hands on deck to keep that car going to the end for Ewan Tyndall and Andrew Roughhead. Character building, they call it. They managed 4th in the R2 Cup, as well as taking 7th place overall. There'd be some problems in the afternoon stages for our early rally leaders for Shane McGeer and Denver Rafferty. They dropped back from that lead of the event in Silver Star and into 6th position. Certainly not the result they would have wanted, especially after showing such good pace early on. And it shows when things are going right for this starlet pair, they will be one to watch. For Jonathan Jones and Lewis Griffiths, it will be the final step on our R2 Cup podium, taking that 3rd position there, as well as 5th overall in the Silver Star results. And we did tell you that the R2 Cup was hotly contested in 2020. Despite a few intercom problems throughout the day, it was still a good debut on gravel for Rob Wilson and Martin Haggett. An impressive performance at that. The step up from the juniors had gone well. They take 4th place, a new intercom already on order before the next round. For David Gathercole and Martin Don, meanwhile, it will be the H2 class victory. A superb opening round of the series and some good times see them taking the final step on the Silver Star podium in that historic Spec Escort. It had been a successful day on the North Wales stages of the Cambrian for Perry Gardner and Andrew Sankey. They take victory in the R2 Cup, also managing to get themselves a 2nd place overall finish in Silver Star as well. But taking the Silver Star victory this weekend, and they would be delighted, it would be Andrew Davison, Tom Murphy. Their victory towards the end of last season certainly spurred them on to challenge for the title, it would seem, in 2020. They're certainly brimming with confidence thus far. So before we chat to our Silver Star winner, here's confirmation of how that leaderboard shaped up towards the end of the rally.
Andy, I know it's a tough day for you out there, but you're always smiling, you're always chucking the thing around, and today you came out on top.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we long tough day. Struggled a bit in the afternoon, pace-wise. Luckily we spotted a puncher in management just as we were about to pull out, so it was a bit trot, a little bit of rushing around. And we've got a bit of a bad history with LC. We've had a big wall and we've had a steering joint break on us and put us out last year when we were in a good position. So all of the crew was sort of, what about the last stage being LC? And try and put it in the back of your mind, I've never driven so slowly on a stage in my life, and I still almost went off twice. So, but now we've made it round, and Tom's done a cracking job on the notes, and the crew have done a great job keeping us going, because we've kept them busy as always.
Interesting new faces and names, as well as returning competitors for the Silver Star this year as well, will make for a good fight this year.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, it's a shame for the likes of Prats and obviously Ben Friend that they've not got around the full day, because they were all sort of, I think, after the first stage, we were about 4 seconds in it between all of the guys that you were expecting to be battling against. So yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Well, you chalk the first one up and we'll see what happens next time out.
Yeah, that's it. More of the same, hopefully.
Cheers.